Hi guys, Rekus here with a new video, and today I want to bring you guys a video on Aspen Dungeon. I finally managed to clear Purgatory 50. As you can also see, it's not really a reaction video or a live gameplay video. I recorded this on my phone yesterday, cleared it after doing all of the Void campaign and before switching to my Star Expedition setup. Pretty happy that I could finally do this. I had a lot of runs that were killed by like an SFX rogue stage. The SFX rogue stage on 46 is basically a run killer, as there is no really good way to kill the SFX because she's faster than anything and will just slaughter heroes. But I wanted to explain to you guys which heroes I used, why I decided to use those heroes, and what you need basically to copy this. So starting off, you can see we are currently fighting with by using a Sherlock. Sherlock is actually very cool. I used two of those. Each of those is equipped with a Splendid Ruby Scepter and has HP enabled, and basically not much else. One of them is V4, which is because I use him in my PvP team. The other one is V0. Didn't even bother to put imprints on him because he just works. You can use him in almost every single encounter. That means as long as you have one singular enemy, he will work most of the time. Two enemies are very problematic for him. First being Drake, because Drake is faster than him and can dodge. The other enemies are of course also faster than him, but don't have the dodge ability, so he can just CC them, and the enemies don't actually have Purify, so he can infinitely CC them, as you have seen before in this video. So quite good actually. The other hero this doesn't work reliably against is Penny. Penny has an ability called Dynamite Armor, which dispels control effects. The first control effect received, basically, it has one charge, and she gains a charge every time she crits. So it is really RNG if your Sherlock can kill her or not, because if Penny lands a critical hit, then she will just dispel his dove effect and attack again. And taking two attacks from Penny is mostly impossible for Sherlock, so he will die. So that's quite a problem. You can still use Sherlock, just have to pray that this Penny doesn't crit, so you can get the CC on her, and if you get the CC on her, you're basically good. It very rarely happens that an enemy breaks out of the CC, even though we are going to lose one of those Sherlocks to an enemy breaking out actually. But not in this fight. That would be far too early. Happens way later in the video. The other hero I use is SFX. SFX, I don't think I used her very much. She can basically do the same fights that Sherlock does. So if you don't have a second Sherlock, you can use an SFX. Basically any artifact is fine. The reason for that being she has... Oh, we're coming up to the Penny fight. Don't want to use your Vessar against this on later stages, by the way, because the Penny has Reflect. This might kill your hero. In the earlier stages can be fine. But back to the SFX. The SFX basically is also slower because she's just V4, no homeowner. But she will attack and after the enemy and survive the first hit usually. And then she has dodge. So from that point on, she can basically dodge every of the enemy attacks. There are also two exceptions to this. The first exception being... three exceptions. I think you also can't do Penny stages with this because of the Reflect. The other two are Eloise. Eloise has a counterattack, so she will inflict the dot on SFX, so that will kill her. And the other one being Drake. Drake can actually dispel the dodge from SFX, so he can still hit her and will kill her if you try to use her against him. But you can use her against stuff like Oberon, have to hope that she doesn't get CC'd. And Rogan and other heroes. So she's quite a fine addition to the team, especially because you don't really need anything on her. It doesn't matter which artifact you use on her. So if you have the hero, then it's good and you can use her. Then for the two main heroes, those being Star Devourer Eos and Fairy Queen Vessa. Let's start with Sun Devourer Eos. Sun Devourer Eos is the main homeowner for me here. Sun Devourer Eos has a very cool ability, and that's her passive ability. Her passive ability basically allows her to get energy back every time an enemy hero in the enemy team, I should say, dies. So basically, if you get a fight like this, and she does an active and kills 2 heroes, she has an active for the next turn. And if she kills 4 heroes, she gets an active in the next turn and has even 100 energy plus, so you will get an even stronger active. So she's basically perfect for Espen Dungeon, because in theory, if you have a really nice copy of Star Devourer Eos, you can do almost any stage with that. Except this one we are just fighting. Perfect timing. The reason for that being Russell. Russell will dazzle Eos, and that will mean that her active can only hit 1 single hero. And this will be the death of your Star Devourer Eos. So it is very important that you don't use Star Devourer Eos against Russell stages. Regarding the setup on the Star Devourer Eos, we are using a Melodic Strings artifact, which gives us the most damage you can have for this first active, and very offensive imprints, crit damage, crit chance, and precision, and as much attack as we can get. And this basically depends on the home you have. You should have about 2200 speed, so if you can get 2200 speed with like attack stone and even attack enables, that's perfect. If you have like a worse copy, maybe a copy that doesn't have that much speed, then you might have to take a speed attack stone and maybe even speed enables. But aim for 2200 attack and try to get as much 2200 speed and try to get as much attack as you can. I think the Eos in this video had about 6 million attack, so that worked quite well. Maybe I used one with 5 million before, was also quite fine, but against the stronger stages, of course, this can be quite nice. Then we have the Fairy Queen Vessa. The Fairy Queen Vessa has a more tanky setup, actually. We're using AMB on her, damage reduction, crit chance, crit damage, and she's second homeowner with about 4 million attack in this setup. She had A tier, but actually not Giant Killer. So no cheating here. We had very bad awakening stats. I ran out of Soul Hammers. So don't worry about that. You won't need an A tier Vessa to get to Purgatory 50. Definitely not. Does help, of course, to have nice stats, but if you have like a B copy or a B plus copy, then you will be all good. But basically, same stats regarding the speed as Sun Devourer Eos. We also want 2200 speed on the Vessa to attack first in most situations. And it's a little bit easier to achieve because on the Star Devourer Eos we use the Melodic Strings artifact, which doesn't provide speed, while on the Vessa we can use AMB, and AMB has innate speed, so quite a bit easier to get to 2200. Will still require a big home, and there is the scene. Penny crit on round 1, so making unable for us to Dofer on turn 2. And here we can see she didn't crit, so we Dofer, and the fight will go into our favor. For the most part, 4 enemy waves can be cleared by using the described Sun Devourer Eos. There are some exceptions to this though. Some stages, especially the ones with Rogan, you are better off using Vessa. So those rolling stages are very fast, can sometimes outspeed the 2200 speed, and they are especially weak to Vesa, because rolling scales damage by critting, and Vesa can't be crit, so that's basically what will give you the upper edge. And as you can see in those fights, we don't do that much damage, but we also can't get killed. So we will take them out one by one, and that's basically the point of Vesa. Then there are some stages that are notoriously tanky. Here we have a perfect example for a stage for Vesa, like two rogues, Drake and the Ithaka, and we're just tanking the stage basically without too much of a problem, so perfect for Vesa. Other stages, especially ones with Amara, there you must clear them with Stradivarius Eos, with energy on her, of course. If you don't have energy on Eos anymore, then you need a Demon Bell, Demon Potion. Because Amara will most of the time kill Vesa. Amara has healing curses, which will turn the heal Vesa gets for herself through attacking into damage, and also the shield from Amara will heal the enemies back up again. Stages like this, for example, are perfectly fine to clear with Eos. We one-shot the Gustin, that's no problem. And this is again a Amara stage, so here we need the Eos just to get through. Barely got through here though, have to say. And later on there are also scarier stages. Here we have a perfect example for a scarier stage. LFA, we have Transcendence heroes here. I saw Ferricine Vesa, I saw SFX. If you see SFX, your run is mostly dead. And those heroes are super fast. We saw some data that said they had like 6,000 speed. Not sure yet if that's right. This fight went exceptionally well. Mostly due to the fact that this Stradivarius Eos is pretty strong. And another thing, now that I'm seeing the Gustins, if you face Sigmunds can be very dangerous. Most of the time you're better off using your Stradivarius Eos with energy on her and bursting them down, rather than using Fairy Queen without energy, because Fairy Queen can actually die to their damage. They have some kind, don't think it was a mark, it was like they stack something up and then it explodes into damage, and this scales insanely high in Aspen Dungeon. So be careful of double Sigmund stages and stuff like this. Take into consideration that you might want to burst them down using Stradivarius Eos. And same goes for stages with Olivia. Olivia is also very annoying. They have one nice stage, I remember, it's like Olivia, Waldeck, Tix and Sherlock. A very scary stage. If I meet this, I use an extra demon potion, even if my Stradivarius already has energy. Because if the Olivia still lives on the next round, she will switch speed with your Eos or whichever hero you decided to use. And then the Tix will switch attack, so you have the attack from the Tix, which isn't quite good because they use true attack, and the speed of the Olivia, and then you will get CC'd by the Sherlock, which is faster than the Olivia. And the Waldeck provides a massive dot and will kill you over time. So basically a stage that can nearly kill every hero. Very scary. So keep that in mind. Other than that, it's basically all. You should be pretty fine if you know this and see the video. Maybe watch some other clips from other YouTubers as well with their Aspen Dungeon tactics to prepare for the different stages. Check when they die, and basically if you have the right stats, you should be good. Don't worry too much. Most of the time it works out. That's a pretty scary stage. But a good example for the end, actually. You can see the damage the Sigmunds do. They have a lot of armor, so they can take quite a hit. And you can see they can get through the life of my Ferricine Vesa pretty fine. They don't have a lot of problems doing that. And she's basically dead. Yeah, she died to that. But now we have a single Sigmund only left, so Sherlock can take care of it. No problem at that. But this double Sherlock, double. I have problem saying the name. Okay. Double Sigmund stage could kill my Vesa, even though she's insanely strong. But I decided to use her at that point because my EOS didn't have energy and I thought she would die as well, so I thought the Vesa at least stood a chance. But at this point we are already past Purgatory 50, so I unlocked the checkpoint and now I'm only killing some more stages, trying to get as far as I can for the leaderboard, of course. I will leave you guys alone now with the setup. Video will go on for some minutes. I showed the setup for all the heroes again, so you guys can check that out. And with that, I will leave you for today, and I think I will post the video tomorrow. I plan to do some stuff on the Tree of Roots. Maybe review some of the heroes, the stats they have. They gave a bunch of new stats to all the heroes, and those are so many changes that we have to evaluate every single Transcendence hero again. So I think I will try to do that. That is very interesting, I think. A little bit of theory crafting, maybe a little bit of PvP theory crafting with that. Thinking about possible teams that you could do or I could do. Will be quite interesting, I think. So with that, we will see us in the next one.